set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And we are underway from FedEx Field.
This taken in right around the goal line.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And a look here at their signal caller, the fifth-year quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
First down, here's Aikman.
And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be second down.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll give to Smith out of the gun. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Here's Aikman setting to throw it.
To the sideline and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
So out comes the Washington offense onto the field.
And leading him out, their veteran quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Short throw to Smith. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here now 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line.
They'll drop to throw.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Washington going to send out their punter
as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This will be fielded at the 17. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll throw on 1st down with Aikman. This little short throw to Witten.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Now Aikman looking to throw.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Aikman now off the bootleg.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
From Commander's territory now, it's 1st and 10.
Down at the 33. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
To throw is Aikman.
He finds his man complete. It's Pearson. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They go back to the ground now with Smith. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
One advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Now it's Aikman. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 23.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Second and 9 now.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down.
Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pressure comes, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
The pressure that time right up the middle, and he was able to wiggle in there pretty easily and get the sack.
Yeah, sometimes you end up getting caught in a little bit of a breakdown about who to block up front, and that creates the gap there, and he took full advantage, got to the quarterback, and finished off the sack.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Now Aikman.
This little short throw to Witten. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Work out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
They set up the screen to Dorsett. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up second down.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to push.
There he goes, right side. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Big yardage that time for Washington. 51 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll give this up the middle to Portis. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Second down and 6 now.
They're going to look to throw.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
They'll set up a throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Looking to throw.
He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Commanders will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon.
They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
On 1st and 10, it's Aikman.
And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
A 1st down carry for Smith. Dances by him, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They go play action with Aikman. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
2nd and 10.
Aikman operating from the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Washington on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
Aikman will throw. In trouble, and he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
If they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense back out there.
Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
This pass complete to McLaurin going across the middle.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
And yet again, it's McLaurin.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Now a quick throw to Moss.
It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. Now Aikman on 1st down. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 4.
Elliott running right. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That good for 19 and a 1st down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
They'll throw on 1st down with Aikman. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Aikman.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. To throw is Aikman. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
2nd and 15.
On play action, Aikman. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Offenses all over continue to be aggressive, and most people never turn down a shot at a deep ball. But oftentimes, it attracts a little bit of extra attention, and it did on that play, and that one got knocked away.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Aikman going to throw again.
And that is incomplete. The Commanders' defense holds, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So now on 4th down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Commanders' offense set to take over.
Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Moss. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Washington going to send out their punter
as he's on here to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a 1st down.
The throw over the middle, taken in. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
2nd and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Aikman setting to throw it. And that is incomplete. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They'll try and throw for it with Aikman. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Cowboys first down by a good 3 yards as they convert on 4th and 5.
Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over.
Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They'll look to throw here. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
2nd and 2. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 33 yards that time.
Well, he worked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps. It delivers a big play here for this offense.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Back to throw again.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown.
From 4 yards out.
And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
Looking to pass. Aikman on first down. He finds his man. Complete. It's Pearson. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Aikman.
He finds his man. Complete. That's Pearson. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
Second and a couple. Looking to throw again here, Aikman. A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now Aikman looking to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 41-yard line.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right,
this
Coach,
has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have the control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Back to throw now on first down. And this one is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Here is 3rd and quite a ways.
Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
Washington going to send out their punter,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will be taken at the 13. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Again, it'll be Dorsett. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Aikman will throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Commanders preparing for their next possession.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 6.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. An inside give. Here's Portis. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Washington going to send out their punter
as he's on for the 5th time here today. It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return.
Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Aikman operating from the gun. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And it's 21-3. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
From his end zone, here's Renfro. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, Why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On second down, here's Smith. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Now it's Smith running right. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Aikman. This little short throw to Witten. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, but when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Play action. It's Aikman. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw is Aikman. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Aikman. Throw right side here going to be incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick 6. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Washington ready to try again on offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. A short little throw taken in by Reed. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. 2nd and 9.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
That is caught. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
In the 3rd quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming.
They'll look to throw again. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you've got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 43. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's 2nd and 8.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Try to get the run game going. Here's Smith. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Here's Aikman setting to throw it.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
He got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. They'll set up a throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Lamb.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and a Dallas first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Looking to throw again here, Aikman. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Smith is in. Touchdown, Dallas. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Well, another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
But right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
2nd and 2. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
This offense so far on third down, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
It's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
On the give, here's Portis
to about the 48-yard line.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They hand it off to Portis. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
A yard all they need, but it's third down.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They'll run on third down with Portis. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. They'll give to the fullback on the dive. And some room to run now.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
That good for 19 and a first down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Here's Portis. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down.
So no gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A 9-yard touchdown ground. And the Commanders have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. And that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. From his end zone, here's Renfro. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Looking to pass, Aikman on 1st down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run the draw with Dorsett. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Aikman will throw.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
1st down, here's Aikman. Over the middle, complete. That's Lamb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Kendall Fuller in on the stop.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 5.
Now Aikman.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10
at their own 37. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw right side going to be complete to Moss. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
2nd and 3. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And he finds McLaurin.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Back to throw again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Inside handoff, Smith. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, You're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Out of the gun, it's Aikman. A quick throw there is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Aikman. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Aikman. That is caught. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
A throw over the middle, taken in. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Now Aikman on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now 2nd and 4. Now it's Aikman. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
A big play here. Crowd on their feet. 3rd and 4. Aikman going to throw again. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of
a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So the clock shows 55 seconds to play as they line up for a critical onside kick.
And this is going to be covered up by the Commanders, and they are going to win this football game.
Well, fourth quarter, it felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down. And they're down to the 41.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
A run with Portis. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much, too.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL.
The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.